71 degrees. It's a little early for me to record. Ugh. You know, I've been having an upset stomach since the weekend. And I had a good day yesterday, finally. I was like, okay. I did wake up with an upset stomach, but then I started to feel a little bit better throughout the day. You know, cleaned the apartment, most of it, and I was in such pain afterwards on my back, but you know, I pushed through it. Everything was good. This morning, I wake up with an upset stomach, a worse upset stomach. I'm like, here we go again, you know? And then I had an appointment to go do blood work, and right after that, I had an appointment for counseling. And so here I am rushing to get ready, right? And then the receptionist from the counseling office calls me, and she says, you know, counselor, I'm just going to call her counselor and not say her name, won't be in this morning, but she can see you to telehealth. Is that okay? And I said, yeah, that's fine. And she's like, so 10:15 is okay? And I said, no. 10 o'clock, I'm getting blood work done. They're usually pretty fast there, but I don't know how fast they're going to be. And I said, and I'm already running late. Hopefully I'll get there on time. And then I said, can we please schedule it for 10:30? And she's like, okay, I'll put you down for 10:30. And I was like, okay, great. I said, if for some reason she can't make it at 10:30, just let me know, please. And she's like, okay. So we ended the call. I go for the blood work, and this time it hurt. And I was just like, ow, like that hurts. I just felt like she didn't even hit a vein. I felt like she hit an artery or something, because I took phlebotomy a couple of years back, and you know, she didn't even feel for the vein. She kind of just looked at my arm, and she's like, okay, go ahead and make a fist. And I'm like, okay, she must know which vein she's gonna poke, I guess. The veins on my left arm are a little bit harder to see and feel than they are on the right. The right is the more dominant. And so I'm like, okay, you know, and she puts the needle in, and I was like, oh, geez. And then she kept moving it. And I'm like, why is she moving it? Well, there's a term called fishing. When they're not getting any blood out of a vein, they'll start moving the vein in and out until the blood comes out. And I was like, damn, you know. And well, finally that happened, you know. And I was asking her about the probiotics that I'm taking. Hold on, y'all. I think I am going to go next to these people so I can turn into the Dunkin' Donuts over here. Hopefully their drive-thru is open this time. Unlike last time that I came, their drive-thru was closed, and I had to go to the other one on the other side of town. Anyway, oh look, there's a Starbucks right there. Perfect. Look at that. And I went all the way across town. Well, honestly, I didn't even want a Starbucks. Anyway, get back to the subject, Moon. Okay, so I started asking her about the probiotics that I'm taking, because since I started HRT, you know, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. And the doctor recommended that I take oral and inserts for probiotics, okay? So I'm like, all right, you know, I have never been so sick of myself as I am this month. Those probiotics, the inserts I'm speaking of, are for 30 days. You have to finish the whole course, okay? It's not really medication. It's not going to do anything if you stop, but if you want to get balanced, you have to do the whole course. So I was doing that and the oral ones, and I feel that's what was starting to make me sick. Now, that was my opinion only. That was, you know, something that I think was going on. And it turns out that my therapist, who I did meet with over the phone because we couldn't get the telehealth to work, she was feeling sick herself. And she's like, I think I have a virus or something. I said, yeah. When she said that, I said, yeah, me too. Like, I've been waking up with this horrible upset stomach, like nausea and all. And she's like, oh no. She's like, you probably got sick too. Maybe it's just a virus and you're thinking it's, the treatment that you're doing. And I said, yeah, that's possible because I even stopped taking some of my supplements. I was taking this like a pack of supplements, and I felt like anytime I would take them I would go throw up. So I'm like, okay, let me just lay off of them for today to see how I do. And I did really good. That was that day that I had a good day. But then again, like I said, this morning I woke up with a really upset stomach, and I'm like, okay, there's something up here. So anyway, long story short, we're thinking maybe I just had a virus, or have a virus. Hang on, you all. All right, you all, I got the iced cookie butter cloud latte. Good luck to me. Okay. So, as I was saying, we got that out of the way. And then, hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully I'm just having, like I said, a virus, some kind of stomach virus going on. And things will get better for me because, yeah, I hate this. And then, I asked the medical assistant, I said, yeah, once I'm done with this course, can I, stop? Can I take a break? And she's like, oh, no, doctor recommends that you continue this treatment. I'm like, which one? And she's like, the oral one. And I said, oh, okay. And then she starts laughing. And I said, yeah, because I thought you meant maybe the other one, the inserts. And I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I've never touched myself. TMI, I've never touched myself so much in my damn life. I hate it. And anyhow, so, she's laughing and all. And I'm like, but honestly, even though she told me that the oral probiotics that I would have to continue taking for months and months and months, I actually read up on that, and that's not true. You can take it as a maintenance and only take it instead of every day, you would only take it maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending on where you're at, depending on how your cookie butter feels. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I am gonna do what's right for my body. I'm not gonna be buying these things every month, taking them every day, making myself sick. Obviously something threw my body off with all this probiotics, going on in there. But anyway, and listen, let me just say that if you're prone to anything like UTIs, any vaginal infections, yeast infections, stuff like that, well then yes, it is recommended that you take them more often, that you take them, every month, every day of the month, but if you're not, and you're just a little off on your pH, then no, you don't have to take them every freaking day of every month. No. But anyway, moving along. And if that wasn't enough, you all, that's been going on, I found a cream. Let me turn this down a bit. I found a cream that I had, an eye cream, in my closet, okay? I got all these free samples a long time ago when the husband bought me a perfume from the mall. That's how long ago it was. And that was years back. I can't even tell you how many years. More than 5 years. So I bought the eye cream, right? And I was like, I'm going to try it. Let me try it. I forgot I even had it. Yeah, that wasn't a smart choice for me. I put it on twice, and under my eyes, they flared up. They got red. And I was like, holy cow. And then I was like, it must be the cream. Who knows? You know, what was wrong with it? I know it's expired, but, you know, it could have grown some fungi already. And here I am putting it under my eyes. So, of course, I threw it out. And then, again, I Googled. And it said, you know, you can put some Aquaphor, Vaseline, Benadryl cream. So I went for the Benadryl cream first. Yeah, even bigger mistake. It made me way worse. It flared up so much worse. And I'm like, holy cow, you know, what do I do now? So I put Aquaphor. Aquaphor made me itch like hell. And so I stopped the Aquaphor. Then I decided, you know what, I think I'm just going to start putting cold compresses. The cold compresses helped. It stopped the flare, it stopped the itching, and it's actually taking the redness away. It's looking way better now. However, let me just say this. I went to the grocery store today, and because I've been throwing up for the past 2 days, right? Except for yesterday, but I had a good day. But for the past 2 days, because I've been throwing up, I get petechia. If you don't know what petechia is, petechia are red little dots that appear, okay? Because of your blood vessels, your capillaries. We have those on our face. So even if I didn't like throw up like really, really hard, it's still force from my body. And so I have red little dots all over my face as well. So I go to the store forgetting that I had this on my face along with that flare up under my eyes. And people are looking at me. And I'm like, why are people looking at me? What is their problem? Why are people always looking at me? Damn it. Like, I hate for people to be looking at me. I get in the car and I'm like, oh shit. I forgot that I have petechia and an allergic reaction to eye cream. So yeah, girl problems. I am not having a very good week, am I? Hopefully, next week, Christmas week, things will be so much better, you know? Because, yeah, I don't want to be like this the rest of the month. I would like to bring in the new year happy, healthy, whole, you know? But I know my problems are minimal. I'm sure that some of you all are dealing with much worse. And, you know, I offer my prayers out to you. You know, those, God knows all of our needs and wants. Or rather, our needs. And where we need healing better than anybody else. And I pray that He touch you wherever you need healing. And I hope that you bring in the new year as well, healthy and whole. And let's add in some prosperous too, because let's face it, after this year we're all going to need a lot of prosperity, right? But that's all I wanted to say in this short video. Just an update. Tonight I will make a different one. And yeah, it'll be interesting, I hope. I don't know. I always wing these things, and I talk about random stuff. Sometimes I make no sense. Sometimes I do. And sometimes some of you just figure it out. And I don't even know what I'm saying, but you all figure it out. So love you all. Bye.